Honorable Minister of Communication and the media team of the Biafra government in exile and de facto government in the homeland. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. I welcome all of you to this emergency State of the Union address of the Biafra Prime Minister, myself, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. My fellow Biafrans, this is month of October 2024, and we are very close to our convention in Finland. The security of life and property of Biafra people will always be the most priority of the Biafra government. And we will continue to respond proactively in solving and resolving the issue of security, especially when our people and our land comes under serious threat. Nigeria as a failed state will continue to fail to protect those that call themselves Nigerian citizens. The call for Biafra self-determination through the secessionists of Biafra or through the secession of Biafra as Nigeria terrorist state fondly call it, is deeply rooted in historical grievances. The economic grievances and economic disparity and socio-political marginalization, and now with the renewed Islamic Usman Danfodio expansionists. Our struggle has become a struggle for survival of the Biafra people. For many decades, Biafrans, both those who have agitated in the past, Biafrans, for many of these agitators have argued that for living Nigeria is not just about identity, but today it has become about the survival, progress, and justice. My fellow Biafrans, in the early hour of today, 1st October 2024, the Biafra Defense Forces has destroyed, neutralized the proposed facility that was built to house and train Boko Haram in a place called Ehimembano in Imo State, former Imo State. Any more of such facility will be destroyed by Biafra forces. We call on Biafrans to give credible information on any further project of the Nigeria terrorist state targeted at bringing in Boko Haram for training in Biafra land, or to be used to house fighters that the intention was to use against Biafra forces. Because the Nigeria terrorist army has been defeated, and all they do is to bring in fighters in whatever guise. Biafra land is not good for Chinese loan. The Biafra people were excluded during the time Nigeria state took loan from China. Our land and our people are not good to be part of the dividend of Chinese loan. Biafra land is not good for rail line, where every part of Nigeria, as they created it fraudulently today, has benefited from the rail line, except Biafra land. Biafra land is not good to have seaport, irrespective of the fact that the Gulf of Guinea is connected to the Biafra land. Biafra land is not good for the headquarters of many multinational corporations that came to Nigeria or Niger area to do business only and solely for the natural resources that is found in Biafra land. None of these multinational corporations has their head office or headquarters in Biafra land to create job for the Biafra people, indigenous people. Biafra land is therefore not good for IDP camp or in any name that will accommodate any terrorists from northern Nigeria or from any part of the world. Biafra land is not a dumping ground for terrorists. For that reason, the Biafra Defense Forces have destroyed the property and the facilities, and of course, anything that is connected to it will be destroyed in Biafra land. It is a message that we are sending out to terrorist state to prove the capacity that Biafra government controls Biafra territory from exile, and of course, with the activities of the de facto government in the homeland. The responsiveness of the Biafra government has shown that the Biafra government take the security of lives and properties of our people, especially our women and children, very seriously. We have fought Nigeria terrorism for the past 3 years, secretly. And I wish one day the world will want to know what has happened in Biafra land from 2021 to this date. And we have been able to secure successfully the land of Biafra. It is only in Biafra land that our people are not living in IDP camp. Across Nigeria, every other region, people are living in IDP camp. Like they have come shambolically claiming that people from the north will be moved to Biafra land, where Biafra forces and defense have been able to secure our land against the terrorism. We also have intel that the proposed movement of these people were actually in order to bring in Boko Haram fighters to Biafra land to fight against Biafra forces. My fellow Biafran, in Yoruba land, the Yorubas are taking refuge in neighboring country, Benin Republic, for insecurity by the Nigeria terrorism or Nigeria terrorist state in the name of the Islamic expansionist Usman Danfodio legacy. Many Yorubas are today living in Benin Republic. They left the ancestral land as they are looking for a safe place to stay. The people that have chased them out of the ancestral land are Fulanis. They call them Fulani herdsmen. They have occupied Yoruba land, and today many of them have left their land and they are not secured in their own land. Biafra land will not be the same. Biafra will continue to respond to Nigeria terrorism plan and tactics very ruthlessly in defense of our land. While Nigeria terrorist state have openly supported Palestine independent and continue to financially support terrorism against Israel, the Biafra people will continue to stand with Israel, and at the same time, we are not against those agitating for independence of Palestine or for self-determination. But we are strongly against the terrorism against Israel and against the state of Israel. Nigeria always go to the United Nations General Assembly to advocate for the freedom and self-determination of Palestine, and these are people who have not fixed their own problem in Niger area. Today, we will do worse than what the Palestinians have done, if that is what will make the world to listen to us. Palestine have not lost 3 million children. We did. We lost 3 million children from 1967 to 1970. Palestine have not lost what Biafra lost. Palestine do not have what Biafra have. We powered Nigeria's economy from from our natural resources. What do we get in return? Marginalization, killing, pogroms, and what have you. On this note, just for the latecomers who have not followed the event of Nigeria and Biafra for a very long time, I want the Biafra media to play the representation and advocating of the independence of Palestine by the former president of Nigeria in the name of Muhammadu Buhari, because I have come across many people commenting on social media and they were outraged about the current vice president, who is, by the way, the founder of Boko Haram, advocating for independent state of Palestine. I would like the media team to play that, as on that particular rock I will build my church today. Media team, over to you, please.
As we engage in these annual debates, we need to remind ourselves of the principles that led to the founding of the United Nations. Among those are peaceable coexistence and self-determination of peoples. In this context, Mr. President, the unresolved question of self-determination for the Palestinian people and those of Western Sahara, both nations having been adjudged by the United Nations as qualifying for this inalienable right, must now be assured and fulfilled without any further delay or obstacle. The international community has come to pin its hopes on resolving the Palestinian issue through the two-state solution, which recognizes the legitimate right of each state to exist in peace and security. The world has no more excuses or reasons to delay the implementation of the long list of Security Council resolutions on this question. Neither do we have the moral right to deny any people their freedom or condemn them indefinitely to occupation and blockade. Mr. President, delegates of member countries, United Nations 70 years old.
Thank you very much. I would also like to have the latest video from the United Nations General Assembly of the current Vice President of Nigeria, who was the founder of Boko Haram. Thank you very much.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What this tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African standby post, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade, take-up, and effectiveness of a center of excellence on issues of counterterrorism in Africa. Mr. President, reform of the Security Council is critical if the UN is to strengthen its relevance and credibility in our rapidly changing world. Some permanent members of the United Nations Security Council have offered encouraging, if tentative, indications of support on the issue of reform.
Thank you very much. My fellow Biafrans and listeners from across the world, with the clip you just listened to, the last one is the current Vice President of Nigeria, who is the founder of Boko Haram. The first video you listened to was the former President of Nigeria, who also was one of the Islamic pillar, fundamentalism pillar in Nigeria and in Africa. Nigeria with this has demonstrated to be enemy of America and enemy of the West. While the Biafra will continue to support the state of Israel, have you seen that this is a black and white that can never mix together? Nigeria have advocated for the independent state of Palestine, which we are not against as a people looking for freedom. But what we are against is terrorism against the state of Israel. And the 7th of October attack, terrorism attack against Israel, Biafra people continue to condemn that terrorist attack. Nigeria, having advocated in 2024 for the independent state of Palestine, should be bold enough to also accept the outcome of the Biafra self-referendum in peace or in pieces. I want you all to understand that Nigeria can never be trusted. America can never trust Nigeria. The West can never trust Nigeria. Nigeria remains an Islamic fundamentalist country that all the agenda is to support anything of Britain, but it is a demand for justice, dignity, and equality. For many Biafrans, remaining in a system that continually marginalizes, exploits, and devalues them is untenable. Biafra offers the promise of self-determination, economic progress, cultural preservation, and security of a nation where the Biafra spirit can strive without the constraint of a broken federation. While the road to Biafra independence is fraught with challenges, the desire for a better, more equitable future fuels the call for the exit of Biafra from Nigeria. And Simon Ekpa is leading Biafra out of Nigeria from the 2nd of December 2024. Biafra government has activated international diplomatic tussle against Nigeria at the highest level. My fellow Biafrans, with this, I welcome you to the month of October 2024. We have just less than 2 months to kickstart our convention in Finland. May God bless the state of Biafra. May God bless the state of Israel. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless Finland, and may God bless Europe. May God bless the Western world. We love you all. From Biafra people, from the Biafra Liberation Army, from the Biafra government, to all of you. We stand together in this particular time of trial. Israel, stand very strong. You have your brothers from Biafra land, and nothing can separate us. From here, from me, airborne to the Biafra Defense Forces, airborne to the IDF, airborne to those who believe that freedom is taken and not given. May God bless you. May God bless Biafra.